reason why I came yesterday here was that I wanted to learn that what it is that I can contribute towards this session which is there, so that it becomes fulfilling for me also as an individual. It's just not a kind of a session that we are having regularly and we don't contribute or we don't connect. So what I learned yesterday from Trishla and Holly is, I think Trishla has done a lot of work into branding and marketing. So the first thing, when you get Constitution of India, and if you will just open up the page, intentionally we put the seal of the law firm. Why I am telling you that is, this is how you, as a lawyer, though we are, ours is a law firm and we are more into litigation and soliciting and then drafting the agreements. But when I went through the portfolio of Trishla, I realized that she is an expert into that. So this is just maybe 0.5% of whatever I could just apply our brains to. Though this is not our world at all. We are not creative people. We are a medium. When people are into conflict, they choose us and we give our best to see to it that their faith is restored. So this is what a lawyer is. This is what advocacy is all about. And as far as Holly is concerned, she is into investment. She's done a remarkable job in her field. She's done the vetting. She knows where to do the funding for the startups. She's done it. And she's the president probably of some investment company. So why I'm sharing this biodata with you people is that you people must know there is no rule of law who can teach you how to do your things. You must do your homework well. When you're entering into a field, now with technology, with Google around, you must work out what are we going for, what are you looking for, what is the location, what is the geography, what is the condition. Which country are you applying for? Now, if you're thinking of India, then in India, like I always said, is somebody going to play for me?
There's
or
the clicker.
You can use this.
does it click out?
You can use this for.
Sorry for this. Okay. I have to press this. I have to press this.
Right one
Forward and
is
back.
for power, and
Okay.
left one is for reverse.
Okay. So you will just see Republic of India, though this has been written by some quote, I would just skip this quote and I would straight away come that what is India? Since you people would be looking forward, I think, of choosing 5 mentees. That's what, when I went through the portfolio, I realized that this session is very important because among all of you, probably 5 mentees will get a 6 months training, if I'm correct, with the collaboration of United States of America and India. So India, when we talk of Constitution of India, which is the supreme, which you all have a copy, you'll see it's a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. This is the preamble, which you'll turn to the first page, just the first page you'll see. That's the basic spine of Constitution of India. You don't need to go through the entire Constitution. This is the supreme act that we have, and every other law which is there in the state has to be in consonance with Constitution. So the first page talks about the spine, the preamble. So you'll understand that this country is sovereign, this country is socialist, this country is secular, this country is democratic. Unlike a federal system which is there in United States of America, there's a jury system out there. And then we have certain fundamental rights, which is justice, liberty, equality, and then protection. Now if you come to fundamental rights, have little patience, I am coming straight away to next of the points. But why I am saying you must know what are the basic fundamental rights while initiating your business. That starts from Article 14. If you come to serial numbers in this constitution, we call it article. So therefore instead of saying serial number, I say Article 14, which is 7 fundamental rights which you all are aware, which guarantees, which is being guaranteed by Constitution of India. That is right to equality under Article 14. Then we have Article 15, which is prohibition of discrimination on ground of race, religion, caste, sex or place of birth. Then we have Article 16, which is equality of employment and opportunity in the matters of employment. Then we have Article 17, abolition of untouchability. Article 19, freedom of speech. Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. Article 23, prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. And then Article 24, prohibition of employment of children in factories. This is right against exploitation. So why I am giving you an idea of this is that when there are 33 districts in Rajasthan. If you people intend doing business in Rajasthan with 7 divisions. Now there are 7 divisions. So under divisions will come districts, and under districts will come tehsils. So you must understand this hierarchy. The divisions are Ajmer, that is famous for Dargah, then Bharatpur, Bikaner, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Kota, Udaipur. The state was formed in 1949 when Rajputana, named as adopted by British Crown, was merged into the Dominion of India. So this is just a feel about the country where you are going to start the business, and then thereafter constitution, which I have already told you. This is just to get a feel about ourselves, since we are into marketing, you people are into marketing, into branding. Just to let you know that being a lawyer, we've done little bit of contribution. We have 25 years of experience, and you can read out strategic, legal, regulatory and financial advisory. Pan India, we specialize in constitutional law, human rights, women, children, you name it, we've done it. In 25 years, we've done all kind of laws, because we feel that if you're there as a lawyer, you need to know everything. It can never be a specialization, because if somebody comes to me with an infringement of intellectual property rights, I know there's going to be a criminal action. I know there's going to be a civil action. I know there's going to be a lot of other compensation which is being involved. So how do you specialize unless you don't have a knack of the criminal laws which are available or the civil laws? So they're all very, very interconnected. And thereafter Swami Vivekanand, who's just made up, and then we straight away come to business. That is what is startup. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry states an entity, a private limited company, limited liability partnership or a registered partnership firm will be identified as a startup as till up to 5 years from the date of incorporation. If its turnover does not exceed 25 crores in the last 5 financial years, it is working towards innovation, development, deployment and commercialization of new products, processes or services driven by technology or intellectual property. So this is how Ministry of Commerce of India has described startup as, the legal definition which is there. Now startup can be in various forms. You can, if you try running it on your own, as Rajneesh said, that comes as a proprietorship. You all are very young, budding entrepreneurs looking forward for some kind of revenue, trying to make your mark yourself. So initially, if you ask me personally, it is always advisable to go with a sole proprietorship. That means you are the owner, you are responsible for the profit or the loss or for the decision making. In later stages, like yesterday, Holly said that you can add up somebody that was being shown. So that's a good idea, provided your frequency matches with that person. So you can add up another one, and that enters into a partnership firm. Now partnership can be of 2 types. It can be a private partnership, it can be a limited liability partnership. That means both partners are there, but they are there with a limited liability as enunciated in the Contract Act. And thereafter it can be a private limited company which comes under the Embargo of Companies Act. Then it can be a limited, there is another company, public limited company is also there. So the companies, they come under Companies Act, and the partnership, they come under the Partnership Act.
LLP is coming under the MCA in the corporate affairs itself. LLP.
LLP, that is coming under the corporate affairs.
But of course it is within the partnership, but yes.
What Rajneesh is trying to input, that limited liability partnership definitely comes under the Partnership Act. The word itself says. So you have to decide, you have to come under the Partnership Act or you have to come under the Companies Act. Partnership Act is definitely very, the legal repercussions which are there or the formalities which are required are very less. There is a registrar. You are supposed to send annual intimation to the registrar if at all there is any change in the partnership. It's a wide thing. So in very limited minutes I cannot go into detailing, but I will try to cover up maximum. So intelligent at the time of signing the contract. It can never be that you hire a chartered accountant. Now with due respect to Rajneesh, of course he's got a lot of exposure, but he's an accountant. He knows accounting. And what happens in India, most of the accountants, they would end up in giving you the advice, there is no requirement of a lawyer. हमें आता है, वो copy cut paste किया, they do copy cut paste of the contract, give you 20 pages contract, put the bill and you please sign. You end up in thinking that's the best contract in the world. That's the worst. The bigger it is, the worse it is. The shorter and crisp it is, even if it is of one page. But then that every word requires legal gymnastics. One should know their job. So that is what the partnership, when you are going for a partnership or limited liability partnership. When you are going for companies, then there are 2 directors who are there in private limited, at least minimum, and then they have their own liabilities, personal also. Otherwise also there are a lot of compliances that needs to be done by a company secretary on quarterly basis. So please make sure when you go for a company, it's altogether a different grade. Till now.
Insolvent, you said something. Insolvent?
Insolvent means Diwalia, one who's not having any money, who's been insolvent, declared by the court of law.
He's a bankrupt.
No, he's a bankrupt, but he's a bankrupt declared by law.
Declared by law. Okay.
So that's where the thing comes. Now after limited and the companies, we would then skip to the next one. The government has further clarified that the business would be covered under the definition of startup only if it aims to develop and commercialize a new product or service. So you have to keep this into mind, that you need to commercialize it, and then it should be with an aim to develop new product or service, significantly improves an existing product, service or process that will create and add value for customers or the workflow. The periphery of legal, regulatory and tax considerations applicable to startup from pre-startup scenario till its maturity. Now the considerations outlined may not be strictly applicable in all instances and the applicable rules will vary. I'll come to the regulatory and the rules also. Just I think that has not been a little bit included in this. Now thereafter, the process of recognition as a startup, in order to obtain tax and IPR related benefits, a startup shall be required to be certified as a business which involves innovation, development and deployment. Now here is an ex-person who decides that she wants to start up a business. So what she needs to do, that already Holly, Trishla and lot many other people have already must have connected with you people, that you need to explore what you are going to do. You need to do a research work on that product or the process which is involved. What is the demand in the market which is being there for that particular area that you're going to do the supply or you're going to put your services into that. And then after, the first stage comes as establishing yourself legally. Whether you want it sole proprietorship, you want a partnership firm, or you want a company's, whatever way you want it. That is the first requirement. Open up a bank account, which will be called a current account. It will not be a saving account, unlike we have personal accounts. So that's a current account. You have to open it up in a bank, a current account. You have to take a checkbook, passbook. You all know it. Now this is what it says. Then commercialization of new products, processes or services driven by technology or intellectual property by the Inter-Ministerial Board of Certification. Now this is important. Now you have a product and it's ranging from, when I see the mentees list, I saw there was jewelry, there was textiles, there was a lot of creative things which were into it. So whatever your idea is, get it registered. What is intellectual property? Intellectual property, to sum up, is very simple. It's like everybody must have known that Agra, we have Taj Mahal out here, which is very famous, and it was made by Jahangir. Shah Jahan in in the memory of Mumtaz. So that's how we started IPR. You know, I was being told that that's how the IPR started way back from there. The reason being that he asked somebody to just, make that, and once that monument was made, thereafter he made sure that the person's hands were cut because nobody could copy it. So you see, it started from there. And these rights are very, very old, meaning thereby that the idea started from there. Those people were way ahead. The science was always there. It's just the words have changed.
Wow.
Just the words have changed. So Your idea is there, you have to get it registered. Now, suppose, let us say, this is a piece of land, I want to purchase it. What do? Anywhere in the world I go, I say, please, I want a sale deed to be registered, executed. Maybe a sale deed, a gift deed, whatever way the instrument might be called. Now, I want this registration to be done in my favor. This is what you have to do. Your idea, your product, your process, you have to get it registered in your name. Now, you get it registered under what heading? That mental gymnastics the lawyer has to do. Whether it will come under patent law, whether it will come under Copyright Act, whether it will come under Trademark Act, whether it will come under Design Act, if you are designing, or it will come under Geographical Indications Act. This mental gymnastics has to be done by a lawyer, not by touts. You find people doing for peanuts, but then they don't apply mind. They're not looking for the intent what you're looking for. You want an international protection or you want a national protection? What do you want? Here is an idea. You want an international protection. Later on, after you are supplying your products outside country, you come to know that the protection is only for India. Somebody copies there in Minnesota and then gets it registered in Minnesota, ends up in giving you a legal notice. Now your product stands with the customs people out there. You're the original idea maker, but you end up in litigation because of precautions not being taken up. So these are the things that you have to look forward for. What is your intent? What are the grey areas where you intend supplying? So intellectual property laws are nothing but they are a sort of protection in order so that you don't fall up in a legal suit for your own ideas. And of course, if you can encash it, nothing like it. Once you are registered, any idea that you have, being a woman, I'll just take 1 minute, any idea that you have, just write TM, capital TM. Even if you have not approached any lawyer, even if you have not applied anywhere, it's a universal law. That means it's your idea. It's your idea, your invoice, oldest invoice, just to show that this idea belongs to you. Keep them with you, all those papers, any billing which is being raised. Later on you can go for registration, or if somebody is applied, then we can also go for cancellation of those registrations and all. So intellectual property laws will just give you an added benefit. It will protect you from further litigations, but as an entrepreneur you must know how to encash that. So when you are bargaining with somebody or entering into a contract, you say, this is my product, it's being patented. Put some extra money, that's your job, not my job, so I'll be unfit to say what kind of percentage you should put for that, how you should take it out. Thereafter, after IP laws, I'll just skip. This is what our PM has said, and we've taken out this. New incentives for startups are self-certification regime, hassle-free registration through mobile app. Please look for it. No labor inspections for initial 3 years. Funding support worth 10,000 crores through fund of funds. And credit guarantee fund for startup. This is also one of the schemes which is being there. You all must look up. Most of the exporters do when they come to us. And then 80% rebate on patent applications. Income tax relief for first 3 years. Exemption from capital gains tax. Easy exit with the help of proposed bankruptcy code. Incubation centers to support startups across the country. Relaxed norms of public procurement for startups. Thereafter, action plan is based on following 3 pillars: simplification and hand-holding, funding support and incentives. I missed that lecture. I wanted to attend the funding part. Industry, academia, partnership and incubation. The RBI issued statements on the 6th bi-monthly monetary policy statement. RBI is Reserve Bank of India, we have in India, which controls the complete banking scenario. It is the regulatory authority, the Reserve Bank of India. So it almost regulates all the banks in India. It's the supreme authority. Now RBI has issued the statement. RBI policy includes foreign venture capital investment to invest in all startups regardless of the sectors. Now this is the RBI policy that has just come up in this. That you can also have foreign venture capital investors and you can invest in all startups. Earlier there was a lot of difficulty, they were supposed to take in permission and all. Now they've just circumvented that permission thing, and they can straight away come with the investment point. RBI has permits electronic reporting of investment and subsequent transactions on eBiz platform only. So the first step that you already know is to open up a bank account. Second is to have a clarity what you want, do the research work of that particular area, get it intellectual property rights may protected, or at least put up an application, and thereafter once you start with your product, start looking for funding which is already there. Also go on the government website of PMO at gov.in, and you will find a lot of funding which is being given by the government. All you have to do is just approach, and approach them online only. That's the best way. That is why we are saying digitize India, and that's what our Prime Minister is also doing it, making it digitized. So it's
PMO and
gov.in. PMO website, you can go directly. If you have any issues, anybody tries to trouble you, just put a complaint, it will be taken care of. What Rajneesh was saying, I agree, but that we are in a transitory phase. There was a phase where we used to keep going to the offices with an application. We even never used to get the receipt of that. Now everything has put up in a digitized form. Now we are into the digital world. Use the online, put the complaints, your things will surely be taken up. And if you go on the gov.in, you will find all kind of funding which is being there, the process which is there. It is no longer the clerk system or the Babu system or the commission system which used to take place earlier. So you can go to RBI also, and the moment you get a funding from outside India, the first thing that you have to go is go on the Reserve Bank of India's website and see the electronic way to inform them that you are getting a foreign investment. That is very important, because then you attract FERA, which was earlier.
FEMA.
Now it has come into FEMA. So
Outside sending of the money, inward receipt of money, be it for share capital, grants, donations, or sponsorships or whatever, and they have different. So she was talking about the sectoral investment and FVCI investment. Anyway, coming to your direct point, whenever some grants are to be received, if it is in terms of charitable object, then a special registration for the charity is to be obtained.
NGO.
It is to be obtained in
Like NGO.
for the NGO, and it is difficult to obtain. That I must also for event. Now, if event is for sponsorship and there is certain benefits which is being transferred, suppose you are holding a road show for bikes, so somebody else is suppose Harley Davidson is sending amount, so naturally then it will be a business concentration. So for business provisions are much more liberal, it might be possible to do that.
I'll read FEMA for that.
some non-profit organization or for some profit organization, you're calling NGO, it doesn't matter. But you need to show that you're getting this money for this purpose. Don't do the mistake of receiving the money for some charitable purpose and then you are making a business out of it. Please be very clear. Because most of, 80% of people do that. Let me tell you. Corporate houses are already under the scanner of that, because what do they do is, they make somebody else a director, of a company, and then 2016, which is being implemented this year only, 2 months back, this is not a done deal. So never take a money which is being given to you for a charitable purpose or for the development or something, and then you're making a business out of it. Please be very clear. The headings that you show has to be very, very clear. Okay. So thereafter there is a 100% deduction of profits in computing the total income for the startups, which implies startups exempting from paying income tax for the period of 3 years. So you have this exemption for 3 years and must be claimed for any 3 consecutive assessment years out of 5 years beginning from the year of incorporation. No taxation on share premium. Only 10% tax on worldwide royalty earned by startups from patents registered in India. So this is another thing which is there, fast tracking patent examination at lower cost, empanelment of facilitators to assist the startup in IPR, and facilitation of the cost for filing and other assistance would be borne by government. Meaning, so you are getting a lot of benefits from the government because they want to promote this. Then you come to self-certification mechanism for labor and environment law compliances, e-certification process, easy exit for startup. Now the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 enables fast-track voluntary closure of business for startups with simple debt structures or those meeting the specified criteria to be wound up within a period of 90 days from making an application for winding up. This is also very important because if we wanted to wind up a company, then we skip one-person company, this concept has come up. One-person company also you can have, but that will be regulated by the Companies Act. Please remember. And thereafter, limited. Yes.
LLP will also do one member.
No, LLP, the moment you come to LLP is limited liability partnership. The moment the word partnership comes, it comes under the partnership laws. If you come under the word company, now people in India, some of them what they have done is registration of them. The owner.
So, ma'am,
Yeah.
so a private limited company can be converted into an LLP if required.
If required. If required. Yeah, those are the mergers and the changes that can be done. If required, that can be done. That can be worked out. A lot of things have to be worked out then.
Ma'am,
Okay.
why a single person should go for a company means
No, two people can go.
See, one person company is also there.
Yes.
As you said. So why it is better to have a company rather than a one person entrepreneurship is there. So why you call it a company? I mean,
See, in the company.
better to open it by a name of companies. You get some relaxations in taxes.
Maybe for the funding part you'll have to see. That is with the accounting part that you have to see. Otherwise, as far as the law is concerned, I mean, say it's very clear. There is no cash transaction which will be allowed now from this financial year. Maybe your 10,000 or something like that. Everything is going to be cashless, plastic money, which is being there. And maybe in future we'll not even have to pay income tax because everything which is being swiped in or coming out of your account will be automatically, some percentage might go to the income tax department. That's the suggestions that we've already made to the PMO office. Now name approval is there, and then memorandum of articles, what you decide. This is what being there. Equity financing is there, angel investors, which has already been included by my team. I'm happy because I was asking just one of them. So then you have to follow the SEBI regulations which were there. A loan from banks and NBFCs. It's very good scheme. I think they even sponsor you to go abroad and put your stalls there and give you the complete money which is there. The Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises scheme. Now make intellectual property protection a priority, register IPR, due diligence of IP rights. This is all IP they have included, but then settling disputes, they've said include. I'll come to Arbitration Act also, General Civil and this. You can go to these portals. Anybody wants to write the Government of India portal which they wanted to know. These are few important websites for startups.
We'll get the PPTs.
Yeah, sure. Anybody can. So the key mantra is plan a startup like you plan your holiday. And why are you in business? What needs are you satisfying? Why has it not been done before? What can you deliver a better result than your competition? How will you obtain your first mover advantage? What is your goal in business? What will keep flowing it with new ideas and funds for next 10 years? After this, I would straight away come very crisply to the laws which are there as far as the startups are there. There is a remedy of civil also, there is a remedy of criminal also, like Rajneesh had earlier, skipped those pages that I'll take over. In criminal, if somebody tries to copy your ideas or like if you're already under the process of filing the application, but your IPR has not been registered and somebody is trying to copy, then maybe you can move to a civil court asking for some kind of injunction or restraining order that please restrain this person from copying my product. In criminal, we have a section whereby you can go for the prosecution. There are various laws which have to be kept in mind. If you are providing good services, fair enough, defective services, then Consumer Protection Act is already there, which is very powerful. And before I end up in a lot of other acts which are there, Food Adulteration Act, which is already said. But there's one thing which I remember, I was talking to Holly yesterday, and there's very important thing which I'm missing out here. That is the legal aid. I was telling her yesterday that for women in India, the legal aid which is being provided by the courts is absolutely free. You don't have to hire a lawyer. There in every courts that is there are legal clinics out there, and that's, I think, not only pan India, that's pan world also. We went to Canada also, there were identical clinics out there in the